Yes, and this is really important for people to understand. As bad as all of that is, it's actually worse. That's why we're having our time in this book. Because it really is. It's worse than you think. It's worse because imagine now all of these issues and concerns we have, but you're 20 years into the future, or 10 years into the future even, and now you have all of this new technology that has been from the very beginning of its development embedded with all of this ESG stuff, right from its very beginning. You know, imagine what the world would be like if the internet had been designed with ESG from the start. And that's the only internet we've ever known. Zero. Yeah. That's what all the technology in the future is being embedded with. And that's what the great narrative is all about. Really, that's what the book is going to focus on. And that's the next part of all of this. And that's the most terrifying aspect of it. I mean, you want to talk about your life changing, not being able to escape, every part of it, everything you used to know being just disappearing. It's gonna happen if we don't stop it.
Buy hardbound copies of books and preserve things, really, sincerely. We'll talk more about this tonight at 9. Blaze TV is my Wednesday night special. You do not want to miss tonight. It is all about control, and it's called, tonight's special is Farmland Wars, the global takeover of America's land. It's much, much more than that. Get it at 9 o'clock, only on Blaze TV. If you are not a member of Blaze TV, you can go to YouTube, my YouTube channel, youtube.com/GlennBeck, and you get it at 9:30. We'll start rolling it out. Live at 9 for Blaze, 9:30 on YouTube. Don't know what they're going to do with it. We have been banned from actually saying the words, "The Great Reset," on YouTube. Be saying it tonight, so I don't know what's going to happen, but check it out. My YouTube channel, youtube.com/GlennBeck, live at 9 tonight on Blaze TV. Please become a family member with Blaze TV. You get a 10% discount by using the promo code Glenn at .com/Glenn. NMLS 182334, www.NMLS Consumer Access. Let's say you have a credit card and your balance is about 10 grand. If you make only the minimum payment, how long will it take for you to pay that off? The answer is 8.5 years, and that's at today's interest rate. That's crazy. By the time you get it paid off, you'll have paid so much in interest. It's an eye bleed situation. There is another option available, and I think the best one is a consolidation loan from American Financing. American Financing, people just like you, on average, $695 a month. Don't wait around to get started. Do it today. Call American Financing. They have salary-based mortgage consultants that can help guide you through the process of creating a custom loan that will align with your financial goals. So not only are you paying $95 a month, you're also now paying all of that interest over the next 8.5 years. AmericanFinancing.net, 800-906-2440, 800-906-2440, AmericanFinancing.net.
Today I'm going off the record with you. Any question you want at blazetv.com/Glenn. Use the promo code off the record for $20 off.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatment.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Meet the amazing Desta 100. Hi, I'm Desta, your new voice assistant. She's here to make your life easier for real. Yes, and since we're being real, I will also listen to all your conversations and use them to serve you tempting ads. What? I was designed to be 100% real, like that delicious glass of real milk sitting next to your right arm. Yum.
So that's what when we talk about the ripple effect, that's what we mean. The crews are supposed to be here. Their flight was delayed this morning. They couldn't get here. That causes another delay, and it just compounds. It gets worse and worse.
This is Brady Trimble at Chicago's O'Hare International Airport. A controversial gun measure signed into law in Illinois.
That imparts bans over 100 types of semi-automatic rifles, shotguns, and pistols, high-capacity magazines, and prohibits most people under 21 from being able to buy a gun or ammo.
Fox Jeff Nelson. America's listening to Fox News.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. CalHope can help. Access CalHope's free and secure mental health resources. Call 833-317-4673 or at calhope.org.
Make a New Year's resolution that's easy to keep. Help protect your identity and finances with LifeLock Identity Theft Protection. LifeLock detects you may miss on your own, and if you become a victim, LifeLock will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses. LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. Join now and save up to 25% off your first year. Go to lifelock.com. Use promo code NEWS.
Where will you find the right support to finish your education? At University of Massachusetts Global, every step of the way. Before you enroll, our enrollment coaches help you plan how to fit your education into your busy life. And at UMass Global, your own academic and career advisors help you build the education and skills you need to succeed. Because the education that really matters is the one you finish. We call it Every Step Support, only at UMass. Now at umassglobal.edu or click the banner.
The future of work has changed, and Northeastern University's graduate programs are built for how you work.
Northeastern is empowering me to make an impact in environmental policy, even though I'm still in classes.
At Northeastern, my job isn't just to teach, it's to connect our graduate students to real opportunities.
I'm not only an executive, I'm an alumni. My connection with Northeastern is to find talent, and that talent will be you.
Learn more at northeastern.edu/built for the Bay. Northeastern University, Bay Area.
The UPS store, we have everything to help small business owners be unstoppable. So if you need mailbox services, we'll be the mailbox store.
What if my business isn't brick and mortar?
Easy. With our mailbox services, you'll get a real street address instead of a P.O. box.
What if I give you a big bear hug, making my day?
Then get in here, buddy.
The UPS store can help with our mailbox services. We'll hold your mail and packages in a safe location. The UPS store. Be unstoppable. The UPS store. Center for details.
Dancing for 2. Nailed the final interview. Game of dub. Brand new hug. Give me the hug. The more you want to do, the more we want to do. New COVID-19 boosters designed for recent Omicron variants are now available. Learn about eligibility and schedule a free updated booster today at vaccines.com. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
Where leaders go, learn. And virtual executive education programs on a broad range of business topics. This is where the brightest minds of business come together. Add your unique voice to an exceptional peer group. Come learn from others' diverse perspectives and from our world-class faculty. It's your time. Go. To apply, visit hbs.me/go. That's hbs.go.
Businesses need to think beyond today. That's why
the 2020 election, about 6 months before, trying to get the White House. This is for legal matters. You guys should be watching what's coming your way right now. And that's the last money I'm spending on that. The Republican Party, dead to me. However, the Freedom Caucus is a great replacement. And right now it's just acting as a needle in everybody's ass. Move! And I think if you saw what the Freedom Caucus did in the House of Representatives, I contend that any honest American, I don't care who you voted for, independent, every honest American that looks what the Freedom Caucus was standing for and what they got should be thanking those guys right now. I think they're the answer to the cancer that we have. Andy Roth is the president of the State Freedom Caucus Network. Trying to get, and there's great growth that is happening right now, trying to get more Freedom Caucus members into our states. And states like Texas is a real problem.
Think about it this way, the uniparty, the establishment, the cartel, in every 50 states, or in all 50 states, 50 swamps, the governor is a full-time job, like round the clock. He's well staffed. The bureaucrats that run the woke agencies, full-time, year, full staff. The lobbyists, full-time, well-staffed, well-funded. The lawmakers, the part-time lawmakers, they don't have any staff. They have no help. So when we wonder why we're losing as conservatives to the establishment, it's because of that. It's because of that imbalance. In Texas,
I go to talk to a state senator or a state legislative member, they always say the same thing. I'm so far behind on this. I don't. Can you help me out? Because they don't have anybody but lobbyists that are briefing them on things.
They don't have time. So when conservatives have to vote on something, they're like, well, how should I vote? The only people were lobbyists.
Right. And I have found, I think Utah is I think Texas is in grave trouble. And there's no reason for those states to be in grave trouble, except all of the people in those states that are fine. No. A lot of people, Republicans, a lot of them are progressive, so they're in on it, they like it. Two, in those Democrat, you run as a Republican, because you can't win as a Democrat. So you have all of those people that are kind of just hiding as a Republican. But in Texas,
it's
what are they going on right now?
So yesterday, they, just like in Congress, and then they vote for a rules package. Unlike the fight that the Freedom Caucus waged against McCarthy in the U.S. House, in Texas, the Republican speaker won 145-3. So all the Democrats supported this Republican. Now ask yourself why. It's because in the rules package coming up, going to give Democrats committee chairmanships. This is a full Republican majority House.
Yeah, but they have together. We like to work together, reach across the aisle.
And when we wonder why Texas doesn't have school choice, it's because a Democrat runs the education committee. You want to file a school choice bill? No, go ahead. But it's going to die. And when the speaker defends this, he's like, well, I don't want to be like D.C.
Yeah, well, I don't want our state to be like D.C. I don't want our state to be like California. These guys have a responsibility, especially in Texas. There is absolutely none in Texas. None. And we're going to lose Texas.
And you remember when the Democrats left? In the Texas House left and went to D.C.
Yes,
and throwing a temper tantrum because they didn't like the election integrity.
Right.
So they finally came back. The speaker did not punish them, but they watered and passed a weaker version. And now you give them committee chairmanships. They use that money to raise money, or they use those committee chairs to raise money from lobbyists. They then use that money to defeat Republicans.
It's insane.
It's insane.
It's absolutely insane.
And I could tell you a story in every other state of the similar type of corruption. It's bad, and it's in the dark. Most people don't know this.
Give me the 5 worst states.
Alabama, we went down there. Alabama, we went down there. In certain terms, we can't set up an Alabama Freedom Caucus because there aren't any conservatives in the legislature. And none. And I'm not even joking. Like, and here's a key why, and this will curl your hair. The state legislature has to vote. The county wants to raise taxes. There are 105 members in the Alabama House. When they vote on that, it passes like 6-0 because all of them duck the vote because they don't want to be seen as raising taxes. It's agreement. They vote on that. Right. And so when I was looking at the voter, Alabama House member ducks 70% of their votes.
Oh my gosh.
And it gets worse. One Alabama state senator hasn't voted in 3 years.
How is Alabama putting up with that?
It's ridiculous, right?
I mean, that is absolutely corrupt.
And the media outlets down there that cover the Capitol, they don't mention it. They don't talk about it. They don't care. They don't want to. They don't do anything about it.
Why rock the boat if everything is working?
In Tennessee, we went there and we said, in no uncertain terms, can we set up a Tennessee Freedom Caucus? Because you guys are not conservative. And we were in a room that we were told these are the most members. We're giving our pitch, like, here's what you do when you're in the Freedom Caucus. I had a guy over here say, defend subsidies for affordable foundation, all the low ESG stuff they're shoving down their throats. He's defending the subsidies. I had a lady in the back who was against school choice, and then I had a guy over here defend motel taxes. And I'm looking at my VP of Government Affairs, Justin, and I'm like, are we in the right room? And these are deep red states.
And these are people that came. It wasn't just everybody. They hear a pitch about starting a Freedom Caucus,
Right.
so they thought they were pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, they thought they were really good.
Wow. Did anybody say anything when you walk out of those meetings and go, guys, we can't do anything with you?
Some of them said, well, gosh, I guess we better start voting better. And others. But I am hopeful in the states that we are in. We're in 10 states. Georgia. We got some Mountain West states. These guys are hardcore West. We got Montana. And they're all good. And they're ready to fight.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I'd like a list of all of the guys who are in it and that are really standing up and fighting, all across the country. I'd like to know who they are.
Yeah.
Because the audience would like to support people like this.
Yeah.
And they need to.
And it's growing. I mean, we have over 100 state lawmakers across 10 states. And we're adding states. We added 10 last year, and we want to add another 10 to 15. So by the end of this year, it's my hope that we can be in half of the states.
We have to be.
Yeah.
We have to be. So, Andy, to explain to people, these guys into monsters, explain to them why every American should be grateful to the Freedom Caucus. This was not. This should have been very bipartisan. So explain.
I wrote an op-ed about this yesterday to your exact point, that every American, Republican or Democrat, should be thankful for the House Freedom Caucus. Had they not stood up and fought, then the dictatorship that started, it started John Boehner, but John Boehner, Paul Ryan, Nancy Pelosi, all of them ruled the House with an iron fist, top down.
It changed because of Obama. During the Obama administration, you no longer had a budget. They destroyed the way it used to work. It was still corrupt before, but now it was just this small cabal who were deciding everything for every representative and every senator.
Yeah, and that's why you get 5,000-page omnibus bills. They fall on your lap, less than 24 hours before. That's standard operating procedure under the old regime. And if McCarthy had gotten his way, if a lot Republicans had gotten their way, that would have continued. There has not been a floor offered in 6 years.
That's insane.
Because they won't allow it. They won't allow debate. And so all of the reforms, which now allow for floor amendments, the committees will have more power. A lot of that power is now decentralized. And that is going to massively benefit not just the free Republicans, but the entire country.
The entire country. Everybody.
In my 20 years on Capitol Hill, last week was the most amazing thing I ever saw. That's something about the other 19 years.
Me too. It does. I would have to say this was the most heartening thing I have seen. You know, we've had lots of elections that went our way, but then when they get there, they don't do anything. Stood up, fought, were actually heard by the American people to some extent, and people have changed enough to where they're like, I don't want any of this old crap. I want something new. Good. They made. If you listen to Chip Roy on the floor, you were in.
Great guy.
And they stood. They were ostracized. They just did it. More of that is.
Our South Carolina Freedom Caucus, they fought the establishment in the South Carolina House.
Right.
They fought them to such an extent that leadership made them sign a loyalty oath. All Republicans, loyalty oath. This is like right out of the page of Stalin.
Yeah.
And the loyalty oath said, you help or encourage someone to challenge our incumbents, our colleagues,
Oh my
our
gosh.
Republicans. And that could mean politically, like help them financially recruit candidates, but it also would not allow you to take a picture of the vote board on the House floor and tweet it, because this is what the Republican establishment's doing in South Carolina.
But South Carolina, actually, they stop Patrick.
Well, so the Republican leaders in South Carolina loyalty pledge. The members of the South Carolina Freedom Caucus signed it, but crossed out all the things they didn't like, just as a middle finger to them. So, since they refused to sign it in full, the Republican leaders right now are considering kicking 19 members of the Freedom Caucus out. Wow. Like, this is a violent nuclear option that they're going to. And Jim DeMint, Mark Meadows, Ralph Norman, a member of the House Freedom Caucus from South Carolina, they're all weighing in and saying that is a really dumb idea.
How can we help them?
Yeah. Blow up the phone. Hyatt, who's the majority leader in South Carolina.
Davey Hyatt?
Dave.
Okay. And he was called the Capitol.
But to your last, and just scream loud, like everybody, But to your point earlier, the South Carolina Freedom Caucus has been wildly successful, and one of the things they did was they forced a hospital to shut down a transgender clinic,
gender affirming clinic,
for minors, and they did that out of session. No votes, no bills,
unbelievable.
Done.
Andy, thank you so much. If you happen to be listening and you are in, a state house, contact State Freedom Caucus and find them at statefreedomcaucus.org, or you can